Lord, seems like I hadn't been on here forever. Hey, Poppy. Hey, H. Hey, was his. Thanks for stopping in. Always appreciate it. All right. Let me find this picture. I want to show you guys this picture. This little 1-year-old boy, his name is Kahleb Rowen Collins. Now, hey, May May. Hey, May May. Hey, Greedy Mama. Good to see ya. So I had talked about Kahleb just a little bit when all of this first started happening. Oh, shoot. Hang on a minute, you guys. I forgot my coffee. I got to have my coffee. Hold on. You going to make coffee too, May May? I know. I went in the kitchen to get me a cup and came back without it. I did something else while I was in the kitchen. I know we've all done that. Go into a room to do one specific thing, come out and didn't do what you went in there to do. So I missed you guys. I hadn't seen you for a couple days. I'll tell you, this sinus stuff going around is horrible. I had a headache. There was just a lot. So I haven't really been watching YouTube the last couple days, but when this case popped up for me this morning, I knew I needed to get back into it. Now, oh goodness, poor little Kahleb Rowen Collins. I have to say, hey, Katie Ann, I have to say that there's a big time trigger warning on this story. Big time trigger warning. As a matter of fact, let me come over here and make sure that my banner has trigger warning on it. Even though my content is not made for children. You guys know I'm the only one that YouTube has it's the AI likes me for some reason. I'll just put it like that. Trigger warning, trigger warning. Might as well put fair use and trigger warning on my forehead. This case is so sad. If you are easily triggered, please, please, please feel free to leave and come back when the content isn't as heavy as what it is going to be today. So to get into thank you, Poppy, to get into little Kahleb's story, he is 1 year old. Now, they are now searching the home, and I'm going to play that for you guys a little bit. There's no audio to it. It's just video. They are searching the home for him. His mother is in custody. His father passed away from hey, Cats Hodgepodgery, from a vehicle accident, which we're going to get into that. I think some of you probably caught the pictures up here. Very, very horrible. Very, very horrible. So let's just get into it. Okay, hold on. Because there's just many steps to this story. Okay, so trigger warning, trigger warning. I'm going to be showing you guys a vehicle that has been wrecked. Oh, you're making vegetable soup? All right, don't make me hungry already. Okay, so little Kahleb is missing. Now, the mother of Kahleb, because you guys know I like to use these children's names. I do not. I have to use their names. Okay, so Kahleb is his name. So the mother of 1-year-old Kahleb, who was found to be missing after his parents were involved in a vehicle crash, and she has been charged with his disappearance and the passing of his 2-year-old sister. Okay, hold on. You guys know my handshake. It's hard for me to get with it here. Hold on. Okay. So, and I will show you once I show you the mother's picture, I bet my subs are going to be like, I remember this. Because we said, I think she kind of looked like Leilani Simon. Okay. So, like I said, trigger warning. The mother of the 1-year-old boy who was found to be missing after his parents were involved in a vehicle crash has been charged following his disappearance and the passing of his 2-year-old sister. So that's Kahleb's two-year-old sister. And Kahleb was 1. Hold on. Those are pictures of the vehicle after the father decided he was going to go 90 miles an hour and run into a tree. Trigger warning. So, according to the Fayette County Sheriff's Office, Stephen Collins, who would be Riley, the 2-year-old sister, and Kahleb's dad, I'm assuming, he was unalived in this accident, which we don't believe was an accident. So the 2-year-old daughter, Riley, was unalived after Stephen Collins crashed into a tree. Okay. The crash happened on Fayette County 73 near Morris Cemetery Road. It also sent the child's mother, Wendy Bailey, to the hospital with critical injuries. Mom was also in this vehicle. It gets worse. It gets way worse. Can't get no worse, but it does. The sheriff's office says the following day, they learned the couple had another child. 1-year-old boy, Kahleb Rowen Collins. Kahleb was not with his family at the time of the crash. You guys, this gets pretty bad, okay? I want to let you know. So please, if you're easily triggered, please feel free to leave, okay? Over the course of the investigation, authorities said it is believed that Kahleb had been deceased for several months. His little body had not been recovered. They're looking at the home now. I've got footage of that I'll show you guys. His body had not been recovered, although law enforcement teams are still actively gathering information and searching for his remains. Now, Wendy Pamela Bailey, little Kahleb, and how sad is this? I can't even, it's blowing my mind. The district attorney's office said 22-year-old Wendy Pamela Bailey is charged with aggravated child abuse, a Class A felony, first-degree domestic violence, Class A felony, abuse of a corpse. I'm just going to say it. You guys know it's hard for me to try to make up different words. This is what she's charged with, okay? And criminally negligent homicide. Now, the reason she is charged with this stuff is horrific. Horrific. So the criminally negligent homicide charge, according to the district attorney's office, is related to the passing of Riley, which is the 2-year-old daughter, who they say was unrestrained in the vehicle that Stevens Collins was driving in the fatal crash. So he's got Mom and Riley in the vehicle with him doing 90 miles an hour. He hits a freaking tree, and what happens? He passes away. Little Riley passes away, and Mom's sent to the hospital. Horrific. And when we get into what Mom knew, you guys are going to just be like, are you kidding me? It's been challenging for law enforcement because it involved the tragic passing of 2 young children. Everybody commended the efforts and cooperation shown by every agency involved. Fayette County Sheriff's Office, Alabama Bureau of Investigation, Alabama State Troopers. Now that the charges have been brought, I look forward to getting the case to seek justice for 2 innocent children. Hopefully we can get some answers. Okay, so I don't think that, I think they know exactly where they're looking. I think they know exactly where they're looking. And I will show you that here in just a moment. So let's get back up. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. My hand shakes so bad. It's horrible. You see my thing going all over the place? Hold on. It's like I have the hand. Have you guys ever seen that movie, The Hand? Well, shit. Have you guys ever seen the movie The Hand, where the hand just does its own thing? That's my hand. My hand shakes a lot. Okay. Let me calm it down here. I'm just nervous. I hadn't been on here for a while. All right, let's get Kahleb's picture back up here. Okay, so there's Kahleb. Now, we are going to get graphic here, okay? Very graphic. These are actual court documents. Now, the court filings, and I'm going to say trigger warning, and this gets very bad, okay? This gets very, very bad, for real. So the court filings alleges Bailey failed to intervene on 1 or more than 2 occasions, and that Kahleb was physically, basically tortured by means such as being bound by a rope, physically assaulted, being bound by a rope from a loft with blood and bruising present. Now, there is photographic evidence of what this man did. So, one of the charges is aggravated child abuse. 6, on or about July, and we're going back to July of 2024, Wendy Pamela Jean Bailey, a responsible person as defined in section 2615.2, committed the crime of aggravated child abuse of a child under the age of 6 by knowingly violating the provisions of section 2615.3 by acts taking place on more than 2 occasions. to wit, failing to report known physical child abuse and knowingly acted with blatant disregard to the abuse that occurred to Kahleb Rowen Collins. He was, well, that says 15 months old. I don't think Kahleb was 15 months old. By Stephen Bradley Collins, Kahleb's father, during July of 2024. Wendy Pamela Jean Bailey, Kahleb's mother, acknowledged the fact of knowing and failing to intervene on more than 2 occasions that Kahleb Rowen Collins was physically abused by torturous means such as trigger warning, being bound with rope, physically assaulted, being bound by a rope from a loft with blood and bruising present, in which photographs depicted evidence that posed an imminent and apparent threat of harm to Kahleb Collins in violation of Section 2615(3) of the Code of Alabama, 1975. Yes, big time trigger warning for sure. Thank you, ma'am. Bad. Okay, so here we go. Like I said, trigger warning. In the abuse of corpse charge, the document states the corpse of Kahleb Collins was treated in a way that outraged ordinary family sensibilities. The document said after the death of Kahleb, his body was placed into a bag and stored in an outside storage building for a brief period. The records state the final disposal was in an unknown location. Now, like I said, this does not have any audio. There's nothing to hear, but they are searching Kahleb's home residence. Let me get this turned on. And you're not going to hear anything from this, you guys, but they are looking at that home. They're wanting to find this little baby that's been gone this whole time. Credit goes to WBRC News, Channel 6. Okay, here we go. I don't know why I get nervous. When I don't do a live for a couple days, I get really nervous for some reason. Just stupid. Just stupid. Okay. So that's what they're saying. Kahleb was placed in a bag, stored in an outside building for a brief period. Okay. The corpse abuse on or about between September and October of 2024. Remember, all of this abuse that they have photographs of was taken in July. But on or about September and October 2024, abuse of the corpse of Kahleb Rowen Collins by knowingly treating the corpse in a way that outraged ordinary family sensibilities. To wit, Wendy Pamela Jean Bailey stated that upon the death of Kahleb Rowen Collins, his body was placed into a bag and stored in an outside storage building for a brief period prior to the final disposal at an unknown location in violation of Section 13A 1113 AS as amended by Act 2002-239 of the legislature of the state of Alabama against the peace and dignity of the state of Alabama. Now, it's very interesting. This is from yesterday, so they were looking yesterday. And it's very interesting to watch them as you're watching. If you guys are watching it, it's very interesting because they are looking at every little piece of anything that they can get. So documents related to the DV charge against Wendy Bailey reported Kahleb's father, Stephen Collins, sent her a text message saying he was going to unalive Kahleb. That was followed, listen, and I'm saying this, I'll keep saying this, okay? She did, Katie Ann. She allegedly told them that he was placed in a bag because Dad's gone. When they had the incident of running into the tree, not only did it unalive Dad, but it unalived Kahleb's 2-year-old sister, Riley. Okay, so, and I have to say, trigger warning, please, I'm telling you guys, please, if you guys are easily triggered, please just leave, okay? For real. Okay, so the documents related to the DV charge against Wendy Bailey reported Kahleb's father, Stephen Collins, sent her a text message saying he was going to unalive Kahleb. That was followed by photographs of Kahleb. Okay, here we go. Kahleb hanging from hanging from a rope from the loft with blood on his body. So a text message was then sent from Wendy Bailey back to Stephen Collins saying, wait a minute. No, then Stephen Collins texted her again and said, he won't move. And I'm so sorry. Another text then said, he's moving. So Kahleb's mother replies, he just looks wore out and tired and hurt. Hopefully that's all. Are you kidding me? So this is day 3 on the side of the home. Well, this is what I see happening. Okay, so Mom is the one who told him about the bag and keeping Kahleb out in the shed or whatever, right? And so I wonder if Mom isn't going to try to use to her benefit releasing where he could possibly be at. Don't forget, Mom's also being charged with the passing of her daughter. According to court documents, at that time, Mom didn't have an attorney. Mom does have an attorney now, okay? Sheriff's office had been searching for Kahleb for 3 weeks. They do believe he is deceased. And after what we just read and what we've been told, but no, they've been looking for Kahleb for 3 weeks. Okay, so Bailey's father, okay, Mom's dad, is also being held in the Fayette County Jail on a $100,000 bond for failing to report a missing child. Neighbors and family say John Bailey lived with the couple in their home near Winfield. So her dad lived there also. Kahleb's disappearance first came to light after his parents and sister were in a traffic crash near their home on December 8th. Stephen Collins and 2-year-old Riley were unalived in that traffic crash. Collins was driving 90 plus miles an hour when the truck left the road and hit a tree. Now, Mom was only injured, but they didn't even have Riley in a seatbelt. Didn't even have baby girl in a seatbelt at all. The parents were also not wearing seatbelts. Riley was pronounced unalive on the scene. Stephen Collins died the next day at the hospital. Other relatives inquired about Kahleb's whereabouts, and it had been determined he had not been seen in months. So they issued an emergency missing child alert. Law enforcement are searching the family's rental home and other properties. Okay, let me get rid of that one. Let me get that tab off of there. Oh my goodness. Poor baby. Okay. So Collins was doing all of this stuff to Kahleb, and his mom was like, oh well, you hung him up from the loft with a freaking rope. He just looks like he's tired. He's hurt. What? Oh, you guys know me. I'm trying to be good here. I'm trying to be good. This is horrible. Okay, so her lawyers, after she is her, okay, hang on. Her bond is set at $2 million. Okay, now remember her. Look. Oh, hang on. I got to stop this one. Hang on. Hold on. Let me find out where I was. All right, remember her. Wait, I'm going to show you the picture. If I can freaking get to it. Ugh. What is wrong? I can't. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, you guys. My hand shakes so bad. Okay. Remember her. We said how much we thought she looked like Leilani Simons. Do you guys remember that? Her bond is now $2 million. Her next hearing is set for January 15th. January 15th. I don't. Why would she be okay with that? They need to dig her a special cell under the jail. For real. She made her first court appearance on December 30th. Bond was initially set at $1.9 million. That's $1,900,000. But as of Friday, December 3rd, it was updated to $2 million. She's charged with criminally negligent homicide, first-degree domestic violence, and aggravated child abuse in connection to the investigation of Kahleb's disappearance. 9 a.m., January 15th, her nasty ass will be back in court. She does have an attorney, and this is what the attorney said. Thank you for reaching out for a comment. At this time, my only comment is to remind the community that Miss Bailey is innocent until proven guilty, and there is much work to be done in this case by all parties. It's too early to jump to any conclusions about where the evidence in this case might ultimately lead. Now, her dad is still in the jail, charged with failing to report a child missing. He also goes back to court on January 15th. The state wants bond denied. Well, he was doing 90 miles an hour. I mean, 90 mile an hour. Well, I'm surprised, May, that they let that story out because there are many things that happen with babies like that. Okay, so the state wants to enact what is called Anaya's Law. And what that does, it allows the judge to have a little bit more leeway with bond, with saying that somebody poses a risk to public safety or is unlikely to appear in court. So there must be a reason why. We know she probably ain't got $2 million. So they're back at the family home. Let me come back over and we'll get that playing again. Searching for the baby. She knew what he was doing to her son. Now, we don't know what possibly could have happened with the daughter because she's not alive anymore. So we cannot sit there and say that, oh my God. So, what Anaya's Law is in Alabama is it allows the judge to deny bail to violent offenders accused of crimes ranging from red rum to sexual offenses, keeping violent criminals in jail, et cetera, et cetera. It just gives the judge a little more leeway on that. I mean, you don't get in a truck with a 2-year-old or any kid or any person and go 90 miles an hour and hit a tree. Because people were asking, where's Kahleb? Where's Kahleb? For months. For months. How many cases have you guys heard me talk about? Sorry, I'm starting to get a little feisty. How many cases have you guys heard me talking about that these children, it's like months later, somebody's like, oh, where's that baby at? Where'd that baby go? And by then, it's months later and messed up. Messed up. Okay. Such a horrible thing, you guys. Horrible thing. Horrible. Horrible. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get rid of that tab. You guys know me. I got 1,000 tabs up at the same freaking time. So she just said, he sends her a text and says, I'm going to unalive our son. Sends her disgusting, horrible pictures of it. But nobody even knew Kahleb was gone until after the accident. How sad is that? So they clocked Stephen Collins driving about 92 miles an hour when he went off the road. He crashed into a tree. He was critically hurt, and Riley, the 2-year-old daughter, who was not in the car seat, was unalived, probably instantly. So he passes away also, Dad does. But it was an out-of-state family member who said, "Where's Kahleb? Where's Kahleb?" So her dad lives with him. Why didn't he report Kahleb missing? Kahleb's disappearance. They confirmed the investigation on December 16th. But don't forget the dates that I talked about. July and what was it, September, right? So the emergency missing child alert didn't even go out for Kahleb until December 17th. Nobody knew he was gone. So now she is charged with not only Kahleb, but also Riley, his sister. Now, so they're accusing her of Riley's passing, failing to report the abuse of Kahleb, and showing extreme indifference to the value of her son's life. So Riley wasn't treated that way? Okay, I'm going to put out a disclaimer here. All right. Like I said, trigger warning. If you need to leave, please do so. We do not take that personally over here. We understand. So she acknowledged, and I believe that she probably only acknowledged this because of the photographs, because of the pictures. So so Wendy Pamela Jean Bailey, Riley and Kahleb's mom, acknowledged the fact of knowing and failing to intervene on more than one. Well, they're saying 2 occasions that Kahleb Rowen Collins was physically abused by torturous means such as being bound by rope, physically assaulted, and being bound by a rope from a loft. You're right, May May. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Poppy. Henrico Hospital has been shut down due to baby as a nurse investigated. There are a lot of babies that do, get hurt in, NICUs and different places. And sometimes the nurses may not mean to, because babies, they get comfortable with babies being so flexible and stuff. But then you do have people who do things just because they're, weird ass people. So Collins sent pictures to Kahleb's mom with Kahleb hanging from a rope with blood on his body, and a photo of him lying on the floor with extreme bruising, followed by the messages, like I said, "He won't move, and I'm so sorry." Then he sent the message stating, "He's moving. He just looks wore out and tired and hurt. Hopefully that's all." What kind of mother says that? What kind of mother says that? Oh, he just looks wore out and tired and hurt. So then Dad allegedly sends her a message saying he's going to unalive Kahleb. Now, this is interesting here. Her domestic violence and child abuse charges stem from incidents in July 2024. The corpse abuse allegedly happened on September 29th, weeks after Kahleb's last confirmed sighting on September 4th. Okay, so we have the DV incidents in July, the abuse of the corpse allegedly September 29th, and Kahleb's last sighting on September 4th. So that's sad. How long had, I mean, this guy had to have been, okay, so Miss Bailey told investigators upon the passing of Kahleb Rowen Collins, his body was placed into a bag stored in an outside storage building for a brief period prior to final disposal at an unknown location. So is she going to say, I see it already. She's going to say, no, he took the remains and did something with them, and he didn't tell me what he did with the remains. I already see that coming. Okay? So she's charged with negligent homicide because Riley, 2 years old, wasn't in a seatbelt and was unalived in that vehicle crash where her dad was going 92 miles an hour. So she's being charged with that. The only reason I see her even being charged with anything because of Kahleb was because she told them, right? And they've blurred out, hang on a minute. You can see them in this video. They're looking at the tiniest little stuff. Tiniest little stuff. Okay. So they've got Kahleb's sister Riley blurred out. How adorable is he? How adorable. He is a darling little boy. Just a darling little boy. I hope they find him. I hope they do. What kind of mother? I mean, what kind of father, right? So they had known that Kahleb was gone for quite a while. Quite a while. That's not me moving the yellow thing. That's the news. Just to let you guys know. That's not me doing that. You can see them sifting through to find any type of semblance to bone fragment. It's very interesting to, even though there's no audio to it, it's very interesting to watch the process. Do they even have payphones anymore, May? I don't know. So sad. So sad. How can you know that someone's doing that to your child and you don't do anything? So I don't get it. I know that yellow banner's driving me crazy too, but it's really not me. So she's not being charged with the death of Kahleb. She is accused of her daughter's passing. But as far as with Kahleb, until they find anything, until they find her, why would you look at a picture of your baby? Hey, Jenny. Hey, the mouse. How can you look at a picture of any child being hung from a loft or wherever being how can you look at that and get a text that says, I'm gonna unalive your son? Well, she didn't have to blame him. They've got proof. They've got pictures. They've got the text messages and the pictures that he was sending her. So she can't deny not knowing about it. She cannot deny not knowing what he was doing to Kahleb, because they have proof of that. But they don't have proof that she was there when Kahleb was unalive. That's what they don't have proof about. Then also, they don't have proof that she knows where his remains are, right? They don't have proof of that. But obviously, they're having a feeling that he is on that property somewhere. But she can always say, I didn't know where. I knew that he had been placed in the shed or whatever. But she can always say that she didn't dispose of him, because one of her charges is abuse of a corpse. And somehow they're getting September 29th. Kahleb was last seen physically on September 4th. When they put him in the bag and put him in the shed, they're saying that allegedly happened on September 29th. So if he passed around September 4th when he was last seen, and I mean, where did they have him before they put him in the bag? No, none of them were. None of them were. Well, I think that's the abuse of the corpse. That's why they're getting her with abuse of a corpse. This bothers me, her replying to that text. He just looks wore out and tired and hurt, and hopefully that's all. What exact day was this, I wonder? Because the DV and child ABUSC charges stem from incidents in July. So that tells us right there that this was happening in July. So that's 2 months. How long had she been letting this stuff happen? Girl, she's going down. I mean, they're saying that she is the one who told investigators that he was placed in a bag and stored in an outside storage building. Criminal negligent homicide in the death of her daughter, Riley, 2 years old. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is craziness. Do you guys think they're gonna really get her? She knew what was going on. And I mean, yeah, she's already in jail. She'll never, hey, Christine, she'll never get $2 million to get out of jail. No freaking way. I don't see it happening. I do not see it happening. So I wonder if it looks like that they're kind of looking in certain areas. How horrific. Oh, looks like dude just dropped his camera. Pick that camera back up. But no, like I said, I was watching this and let me move that. Hold on. Let me get off of that. I think this woman talks. Hold on a minute. Hang on, y'all. This is a neighbor.
Has been in charge of setting up the vegetables and stuff like that. We're going to talk about that and then
here we go. Let's see what she has to say.
Wherever you need to.
Just hold it.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure I get you in frame too.
I'm wearing my sunglasses because I don't have any makeup on it.
You can come up a little bit if you. That's good.
Okay.
I'm not sure who this is or what she's about to say.
And mine is up. Mine's still up.
Okay. Do you have audio, Gracie?
Please feel free to 420 anytime.
I don't have a mic. Will I be in any of y'all shots where I can ask her to hold it kind of low?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, she can just.
Do you want me to just like hold this
I
too?
want to hold it right there for me.
Okay. Are both y'all or all three of y'all gonna take turns asking me like a series of?
We'll just stop.
Okay, sounds good. I just want to make sure.
I don't think I can get
What
closed
we did the other
caption
night.
with it.
Okay.
No, closed caption's not on, so hopefully you guys will be able to hear it.
I apologize. I can tangle up a 2-inch cord.
Try to wrap them nicely and then just.
No, she didn't report him missing. Her dad didn't report him missing. Nobody reported him missing until after the accident.
I took public speaking a little bit in high school, so I can like move my head around it each, like kind of like I'm talking to everybody.
God, I can't believe I've been on here for an hour.
And then you, Kayla, you don't even have to look at me to make sure that I have good framing on you, so you can just kind of stay looking over kind of in this side.
Okay.
Area.
Hey, Rowen,
I am ready when you guys are.
Well, let's go, girl.
just say and spell your name for us, please.
Carly Allen, Karlie Allen.
And how would you
Carly
like to-
Allen.
Just Carly is fine.
Okay,
Or
but-
yeah, a community member.
Okay.
Yeah.
First off, let's talk about what's going on today. Are you hopeful that they might find something, because they've got a lot more people out here and doing a lot of digging?
Yes, sir. I'm very hopeful, and very, very sad at the same time. But I'm hopeful that we will have some positive results today to where if anything is found, we can lay Caleb's little body to rest because that's what he deserves.
Yes, ma'am, I agree.
The whole town is just.
Oh, we are
horrified
devastated.
about this.
Yes,
Talk
we're
about-
horrified. We can't believe that it's been right up under our noses this entire time. I mean, like a lot of us have said, they were very secretive. They had to have been for, you know, this to take place. And it's made me very sick. I mean,
Let me tell you guys something, okay? Now she's like, oh, they must have been very secretive for things like this to happen. These people, a lot of them are not secretive about what they're doing to their children. A lot of these nasty people who call themselves parents, they know how to do these things to children where it's not seen publicly. So, no, you don't have to be, I do not feel that you got to be secretive to be a child abuser.
just can't imagine. You know, we know some of the abuse that they have suffered, especially Caleb, but I think the abuse goes way beyond that.
What?
And talk about seeing it. I mean, it makes it feel. I mean, you're passing home a lot.
Yes.
And how many cars are out here? Police cars. And
Yeah.
we've seen shovels and dogs. Talk about how that makes you feel seeing that.
It made me feel really, really just disturbed and sad because to know that he's probably been there the entire time and it was just been looked over in previous times, or, you know, maybe resources weren't as great as they are now. Who knows? We don't know because we're just the public looking in. But I know this morning when I woke up and I had a flood of messages about law enforcement and crime scene tape being I was like, today has to be the day of reckoning for this child.
No,
Like,
they
it
haven't
has to
found
be.
him yet, Jenny.
And you're organizing a vigil. Talk a little bit about the plan.
Yes.
There.
We are organizing a candlelight vigil for Riley and Caleb Collins. And so far, we have raised $500 and we have been purchasing stuffed animals, candles.
I am sorry. Y'all, why hadn't there been a vigil before this? Did anybody do a vigil before this? And I'm just, I'm kind of taken aback by that. Where's Bullhorn Betty? Where's Bullhorn Betty? You give a shit about missing kids and things that happen to kids. Where are you at now? Oh, yeah, you're getting ready to go to court in Tennessee for stalking people, allegedly. They did, yeah, they did look at the dates. They did look at the dates. I am going to do my zipper mouth emoji on this. For real.
Flowers. I'm actually going with my neighbor up here. Later on, we're going to go pick out some wreaths to put, you know, up for the vigil and stuff. I've had people reach out to me from Jasper, Oakman, Gadsden. I don't know where any of these areas are, by the way, but so many people have reached out. Even people from my community in Mississippi have supported either donating or...
And don't get me wrong, you guys, I think it's wonderful that they're going to have a vigil. I do. And I hope that there has been vigils and posters and people getting Caleb's name out there because they didn't know where Caleb was. But you got to remember, You got to remember, no one even knew that Kahleb was missing until December 8th, when I don't even want to call it a accident. It was a crash, right? So don't get me wrong on that, because I know how YouTube is, and people be like, oh, Remain Calm said something about, the vigil for Kahleb or whatever. No, I'm not doing that. Okay. But I did ask the question, Betty, you're such a big, a big lady out here, voicing your opinion over missing children. Maybe it's because you're getting ready to go to court that you're not talking about any other missing children. Yeah, I would think that Grandpa has to know something. He was there.
Or just praying. And everybody keeps asking me what they can do to help. And the donations, we're pretty much done with taking up any kind of donation.
Good girl.
The best thing you can do now, like I told ABC the other day, say their names very loud, Riley and Kahleb Collins, and come out to the vigil
Thank
and hold
you.
a candle for them.
Thank
I'm going to
you.
be speaking with the mayor as well about a new location. I'm hoping we can go to the community center here in Glen Allen to make it.
Thank you. I have to say that when she first started talking about the visual and everything, I have a lot of respect for her, because she has said, we've got enough. We don't need no more donations. We have enough to get candles, to get wreaths, to get whatever they need. And I can't say a whole lot. I do not live in that state. I am just trying to keep Kahleb's name out there, and Riley's too. I have a lot of respect for her for saying this. I really do. If I could, I would be driving to every state to do whatever I could for these missing kids. So when people actually care, and like I said, it's sad because I've covered so many cases where these kids are missing for months. Look at how long Harmony Montgomery was missing. Look how long she was missing. So sad. Haley Cummins, we're still trying to find her.
Better parking and, more space for everybody to come.
And share the date and time for that.
January the 11th at 5:30 Central Time.
For people who see this and want to get involved, if they don't live here, what is the best way for them to make sure that place and time is still the same?
I don't mind sharing my social media because it's already been posted all over. If you guys, how would I let people know to go to my Facebook? I mean, Missing in the USA, Dan, he also has stuff where, just go and post, reshare that Justice for Kahleb and Raleigh picture over and over and over again. I feel like that is the best way for us to get it more into the public eye, because it has gained a lot of attention so far.
Would you like to have seen a little more transparency with the authorities about what's going on? Because really nothing has been said.
I'll answer that very transparent, honest. No, I don't. Because with it being such a small community, I feel like the hearsay and stuff could have disrupted an investigation.
Thank you.
And so far, I feel like they are actually doing a really good job handling this case.
Thank you. I am so proud of her. I am going to find her Facebook, and I'm going to go tell her how proud I am of her, that she just said what she said. Hearsay, speculation, no matter what missing child it is, it hurts. It hurts the case. It hurts the case. Even though, you know, people love the speculation and the what if and the hearsay. You know, people like to have those conversations. I don't even mind having those conversations. But when the speculation and the hearsay and all of that is coming at law enforcement, and a lot of times it's coming people who don't live in that state. Okay, I have to use the Summer Wells case. People who did not live in that state, people who did not know anything about the area, people who knew nothing about Eastern Tennessee at all. Every time they would hear a creator enticing them, well, this could have happened. Oh, law enforcement needs to know that. Law enforcement gets buried in the what ifs and the speculations and the hearsay, and they're trying to find missing children. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. I really don't.
I'm very hopeful for our law enforcement, and it lets me know if I ever needed to call them, I would hope that that they would have my back just as much. All right, thank you guys.
Oh, thank you, girl. I hope that they find him. And I hope that when they find him, they lay him to rest by his sister. By his sister. I don't personally don't give a fuck where they put daddy. He's already in hell, if you want my opinion on that. He is already down there with Satan. Who could do this? Who can do this to a baby? Who it's sad. It's so sad. It is so sad. But like I said, I don't live there. But this woman needs to be commended for what she's doing. And she was so honest in saying, I have to be transparent. I don't know anything. They're not telling us anything. But they are out here and they're in full force trying to find Kahleb. How sad. How sad. I'm going to show you guys the truck again. Hang on. Let me pause that for a moment. This is the truck. This is what a truck looks like after going 92 miles an hour. Look at that. That is craziness. So do you think that he was just trying to unalive all of them? You think he was just trying to unalive all of them? I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Very sad. I don't know if there were skid marks. Let me see. Hang on a minute. Let me try something here because it tells a little bit more about it. Let me take this link, see what it tells us. Okay, hang on. Okay. This tells more about the accident. Hang on, my hand's shaking again. All right. The father of a missing 1-year-old boy was driving 92 miles an hour when he crashed into a tree, unaliving himself, his 2-year-old daughter, and critically hurt their mother. Baby girl was not restrained in the car seats, neither were the parents. Last time Kahleb was reported to be seen was September 4th. September 4th. The crash happened on December 8th at 10:24 a.m. Stephen Collins was driving aggressively at an extreme rate of speed when he ran off the road and began to spin clockwise and hit a tree with the left rear door area. The force of the collision caused the vehicle to spin counterclockwise around the tree. Wow. So it actually, wow. So he began to spin clockwise. Okay, so I need my ruler. Hey, Dee Dee. I know. Okay, so it began to spin clockwise, which is this way. It hit the tree in the left rear door area. The force caused the vehicle to spin counterclockwise around the tree. So it just span around the tree. Wow. Wow. And while you guys see the blankets and stuff, law enforcement will put up blankets and things like that. Yeah, I mean, it does seem, yeah, it ricocheted. Hey, Big White Horse, I hadn't seen you for a while. Yes, it sounds like it, doesn't it? It sounds like he did it on purpose. Okay, but the responding state trooper noted that the road was wet, and due to Collins' actions, he was not able to operate his vehicle safely. All right, trigger warning. Hey, justice for you. Trigger warning. So Collins was ejected from the truck while his daughter, who was in the back seat, sustained fatal injuries during the crash. Wendy Bailey, who was in the front seat, passenger side, was slightly ejected from the driver's door. Wow. So she was in the passenger seat and was ejected some from the driver's door. They airlifted her to UAB hospital where she was listed in critical condition. We know she is not there now. They said, hey, you're okay, you're going to jail. Well, he only took one. He only had one of the kids. So that's how they knew, Jenny, that Kahleb was missing. After the wreck, the crash, whatever you want to call it, is when people were like, where's Kahleb? Where's Kahleb at? It was family members who live out of state that were the ones who said, "Where's Kahleb?" Said they're struggling to get answers from anyone on where he is. Well, when was the last time anybody checked on him? What was it? September 9th? Was the last time that they have Kahleb being seen? I don't think you're going to get a lot of answers from anybody. Yes, we are worried, said Catherine Chaplin, Kahleb's great aunt. Supposedly the baby is at a friend's house. We don't know who. A family friend. We don't know who. That's all we know. So is that what Mom was telling you guys? Was that Kahleb was at a friend's house? How sad. How sad is that? That's horrible. So we can kind of guesstimate, right? Oh, it's okay if I don't have screen share audio. I'll fix that in a minute. Okay, so let me just kind of run it down the line here. So, two parents. There is actual pictures of Collins, who's the dad, abusing Kahleb, who was 1 year old. He had a sister, Riley, that was 2 years old. He sent pictures and text to Kahleb's mother showing what he was doing to Kahleb. Horrific, torturous things he was doing to that little baby. Also tells her, I'm going to unalive him. He's not moving. Sorry, I'm sorry, he's not moving. After he hangs him with a rope from a loft and does other horrible things to the baby. Mom says, oh, he's moving. He just looks tired, and that's bullcrap. That is bullcrap. Disgusting. So, September 9th was the last official sighting of Kahleb. September 28th, I think it said, or 29th, is when the allegedly he was put in a bag, put in a shed type area. But the DV is from July. So, believe me, I have a lot of questions myself. But Dad doesn't have to be accountable for anything now because he unalived himself and their daughter, 2 years old. Now, Mom was only 22 years old, right? Didn't I say she was 22? She was only 22. And she is now, I mean, the next hearing is January 15th, but her bond is now $2 million. Well, they're saying, well, that's weird. Well, I think they're getting Caleb's age wrong. They're saying he's 15 months old, but his sister was only 2. So I don't know how that works. But they're saying 1. So I think it is 1 years old. But that is the abuse that law enforcement knows about. Hey, Pink Lotus. I think they would. I think if they found other pictures. I mean, basically, it seems like I'm trying to get the. I had pulled up the court documents. This was from. So I bet you that she says she don't know where he is, because now that the father's gone, I can guarantee you she's going to say he did something with him, and that scarred my. You guys didn't hear it, I don't think, but I did. It scarred my. Okay. Yes, Wendy Pamela Bailey, 22, admitted that she knew Kahleb had been kept in an outdoor storage shed. So, yes, and she was arrested. Okay, this is what this one says. An Alabama mother's been arrested after allegedly notifying investigators that her missing 1-year-old toddler had died and his remains were kept in a storage shed. So she's saying she knew that he died. The discovery was made shortly after Wendy Pamela Bailey, 22, was involved in an accident that claimed the lives of Stephen Bradley Collins, 40, and Riley Collins, 2. No, that can't be right. It's saying a third child couldn't be accounted for. There were only 2 kids. So that's why I say sometimes with these articles, hey, Karen with a C, yeah, no, they got the age wrong. They had got the age wrong. Okay, so the ABI, which is the Alabama State Bureau of Investigation, believed that he is deceased, but Mom told him. Mom said he was unalived. He was placed in a shed for a while. But they believe that Kahleb has been deceased for some time. Alleged evidence showed that the father, Stephen Collins, had abused the boy, and the mother failed to intervene or report the abuse, according to court documents. Wow. They also believe that she knew the body had been put in the storage shed. Well, she told them that. Photos allegedly showed some of what was happening to Kahleb. He took pictures of him hanging from a rope and lying on the floor covered in bruises. She says he just looks wore out and tired, and hopefully that's all. This sick woman right here. Let me show you her picture. Oh, I don't know. They say they believe that Mr. Collins was carelessly driving 92 miles an hour. The road was wet. They think he lost control. But then again, I mean, knowing what he did, oh yeah, I can guarantee you she's going to try to COA. But the thing about it, this is the thing. She was 22. This guy was 40 years old. Now, does that make a difference? Not necessarily, but I would really be interested to know the dynamics of that relationship. So hopefully that will all come out in court. Hopefully. Hold on. Let me pull this up. I don't want to talk about that, but thank you anyway. Me too. I'm just glad that someone actually came on and said that law enforcement was doing everything possible to find Kahleb. I don't understand how a mother, knowing that a person was doing that to a child, I don't understand that. It's very heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking. Yes, it is going to be very bad. Very, very bad. That's all these cases of things happening to these children. And I made a comment earlier when the girl was speaking to the news when, she said that, basically, how could they hide something like that? And it is sad to say, and, I see what she is saying, but there are many, many children out here who are being abused, and they could be with their family, right? Yeah, they did say, hang on and I'll tell you. It was a Toyota, I think. They did say. They did say. Now I'll have to find where they said it. It was some kind of Toyota, I thought it said. I don't think they're going to tell me what it is in here. Yeah, I'll have to find it again. Because I had it pulled up. I had it pulled up. Yeah, it was a Toyota. It was a pretty good sized truck. Let me see if this will take me back to. Well, ma'am, I don't know where I had it, but it was some kind of Toyota. I believe some type of Toyota truck. They probably already had the dogs out there. Yes, I know that I said what it was earlier. I might have just not read it all out. But yeah, it was definitely some type of Toyota. How sad. Little Kahleb Collins. So, do you think if they find Kahleb that they can charge her? Right? Well, he was last seen in September, around September 8th or 9th. And it wasn't even questioned where he was until December 8th when they had the car accident. They believed him to have passed like on September 28th. But with the DB charges being in July, sometime in July, that means that this stuff was happening to Kahleb back in July. Was it just seems like she allowed this to happen for a couple of months. And if he was doing those things to Kahleb, I believe he'd probably been doing that to Kahleb forever. Forever. For real. But look at the area they lived in. Yeah, your messages are showing up, Jenny. You just gotta kind of be careful what you how you word things in chat because I have a block list that has some words in it. So sometimes if you don't dress your words up, it'll go on a review for me to look at them. And so sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. So we can only pray that Kahleb's found and laid to rest with his sister. How sad. How very sad. That's probably what it is, Jenny, because I'm seeing your messages. But I'm sure that they've already had the dogs out there. I'm sure after, I mean, because we're talking about if he was unalive sometime at the end of September, right? We're talking about 2 months, more than 2 months. I couldn't imagine what goes through these men and women's heads while they're looking for a child like that. I talked about that with Summer's case, how them searchers gave it everything that they had to try to find her. And I think what was very sad about that was the fact that, you know, the searchers were looking for her. And by the time that they actually, the search and rescue team came, which was fairly quickly, I have to say, they were there fairly quickly to try to find Summer, and it got dark. It got dark. And so it was dark. She allegedly had no shoes on and possibly was lost in the woods. What I have always said about that is having no shoes on, being in the woods, and it being dark outside, I would not know how she could have possibly have you know, kept moving after it got dark. Because in the woods, it is pitch black out there. It's very sad. I mean, it is very sad. And we don't know what happened with Summer. We don't know what happened with Sebastian. We kind of know what happened with Kahleb, right? We know there's proof that law enforcement has that he was being severely, torturously abused. They have that proof. So mom tells them, yeah, we had put him in that shed for a period of time. Now she's probably saying that, well, that's what they're getting her for, Jenny, because she allowed it. There was an indifference, like she didn't care. Like she didn't care that he was doing that. Do we know of what abuse could have been happening to the 2-year-old daughter? They're not really speaking on that because she definitely can be charged with that because the 2-year-old was in the car with them. It was in the truck with them. And they stuck her in the back seat, didn't give her a seat belt or nothing. So she absolutely can be charged with that. But was she actively doing, well, I mean, they've got her. They have her. She told investigators that yes, Kahleb had passed away and his body was kept in the storage shed. This gets me too. She was 22. Stephen Bradley Collins was 40 years old. Riley was 2, which means that when Stephen Bradley Collins was 38, Wendy Pamela Bailey was 20. She was around 20 years old when she had Riley. About 20 years old when she had Riley. I do hope they find him. I do. I remember, when with the Quentin Simons case and they went into, okay, wait, that's me. That is my, but if we look at the area, look how wooded it is. They could have put Kahleb anywhere. So maybe something specific may have been said. I say she's guilty. Now, I know they say innocent until proven guilty, but she's definitely guilty of allowing those things to happen to her baby. He was a baby, 1 year old. And she knew what was happening. What could he have possibly done? What could he have he was just a baby. What in the world could possibly have happened? Did he cry too much? I don't understand. I don't. I get very that is I can't wrap my mind around it. But I'm sure that's what's going to happen. She's going to say that Bradley Collins disposed of Kahleb and did not tell her where. Well, why didn't they have custody? What do you mean they didn't have custody? Obviously they had custody. Yeah, he was 40, she was 22. So when the little girl was born, he would have had to have been 37, 38. She would have had to have been 19 or 20. So it was boom, boom, one child after another. Well, he lived there. Grandpa lived there. Her father lived with them. Is what it says. So Grandpa had custody, but they were living with Grandpa? Is that what you're saying? Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Where did you find that? I never seen where he had custody. All right, hang on. Because you know I gotta find it first. Because I am just weird like that. I am just weird like that. Okay, hold on. Let me see if this will tell me. Grandpa was charged with failing to report a missing child. All right, we'll listen to the hang on. Let's see what the news tells us here. Let me find it. Okay, hold on, because I want to share it with you guys, but I have to go back to it. Let me see what the news has to say. Not that I believe everything the news says, but no, you don't need to. But, I mean, if it's true, it doesn't surprise me, because that happens a lot. That happens a lot. Okay, let's see what they say about Grandpa here.
At Purdue University, our online master's degree in artificial intelligence stands at the...
We continue our coverage there. This is where it's now been 2 days since an emergency missing child alert was issued for a 1-year-old boy. Your reporter, Jillian Brooks, is live now in Winfield with what she's seeing and hearing about this case. And Jillian, what's the latest information?
Sheldon, we first told you on Now at 11 that the Fayette County Sheriff's Department came back to the house of missing 1-year-old
there we go. Sorry.
Kahleb Collins. Now, he lived here with his father, mother, 2-year-old sister, and grandfather.
Oh, thank you, Dee Dee.
8 sheriff's cars right now and several deputies roaming the property along with search.
Because it would depend on who that creator is, to be honest with you. But you don't need to say their name. I'll see if I can find it.
Dogs with those deputies searching the property. Now, those dogs seem to be out in the wooded areas near the property and next to the house and also along the shed, trying to keep an eye on those dogs as I can see them from here.
Now that was 2 days after they found out.
Since earlier this week, sheriff's deputies were on site late last night, but they aren't answering any questions about why they are here. Now, this mysterious case was the topic of conversation in town, and people living here tell me their feelings are changing. First, it was heartbreak over this crash 10 days ago where a 2-year-old girl and her father were killed and a mother critically hurt. Now it's confusion, learning that investigators say the dad was driving over 90 miles per hour and no one was wearing a seatbelt. And today it's deep concern that officers say the little boy was not in the car with his family that he was last seen in September. Now, no one wanted to talk on camera this morning as a lot of people are trying to make sense of an unexplainable situation. Simple questions are not being answered, like where is Kahleb? How is it that a little boy could be missing for 3 months? Now, one person who might have those answers is John Elton Bailey, Caleb's grandfather, who was charged with failing to report a missing child. Court records say he also did not report physical injuries to that child, which he had a duty to do as a custodian. Now, we're continuing to ask questions.
Okay, well, maybe they're getting that where she is saying as a custodian. So, it's easy to say granddad had custody because they considered him a custodian. So maybe that's where they're getting it. Let me check something here. Hold on. Hold on, I'm looking something up. I'm using one finger. Okay. A custodian so a custodian, usually when you look at it, as someone who is in a position where he was an adult in that household. He was an adult in that household. Let me see. Because custodian to a lot of people is somebody who cleans, cleans and like schools and things like that. Let me word this a little different. What does? Okay, for the purposes of child custody, a de facto custodian, well, that's in my state, someone who's been the primary caregiver and the financial support, who has resided with the person for a certain period of time, depending on the age of the child. So, a custodian of a child means the person legally responsible for the primary care and upbringing of the child, typically providing their primary home, making major decisions about their well-being, overseeing their daily needs. The person who has physical custody of the child, most commonly a parent in a divorce situation. So, if they were living in her father's home and neither one was working, then grandpa would be the main custodian, supposed to be taking care of them. He lived in the home. But I'll have to go back and see if they were renting the place or if he was renting the place. Because he didn't report either. In Alabama, it's the legal responsibility for the care and supervision of a minor child. Legal custody involves the parent's right to decide on the child's upbringing. Physical custody is day-to-day care for the minors. If they're just considering him a custodian, it could be because he was the main person in the home. He was the older adult, right? Believe me, I am not saying that the guy did not have custody. I just know how it was worded. So, but there's, I wish.
Physical injuries to that child, which you had a duty to do as a custodian. Now we're continuing to ask questions. We are continuing to watch this scene. We will have crews here all day long. But for now, reporting live in Fayette County, I'm Jillian Brooks for WBRC 6 News.
Okay. So could that possibly be true? Absolutely. I am not going to say that it's not true. But also, if Granddad had custody, I would think that CPS. What I'm wondering is if Grandpa didn't rent this property, Grandpa was the older of the three. What the hell was Grandpa doing? What was Grandpa doing when this little boy was being hung up with a rope and being done that way? For real. Let me see if I can word it a little bit different. Who had, let me word it like this, primary care. Okay, let me see if this is different. Let me see if I can find out who had primary care. Prosecutors allege graphic details of abuse leading to presumed unaliving a missing 1-year-old Kahleb Collins in Fayette County. Wendy Pamela Bailey, 22, was arrested on Monday, charged with aggravated child abuse, first-degree domestic violence, abuse of corpse, criminally negligent homicide. The first 3 charges relate to the presumed unaliving of Kahleb Collins, Bailey's son, who had not been seen since September 9th, while the latter charge was related to the passing of Riley along with her husband. So they were married. They were definitely married. They didn't know Kahleb was missing until after the car accident. In the charging documents, prosecutors allege Bailey disposed of her son sometime after his passing, putting him in a bag before putting in a storage shed outside for a brief period prior to his disposal at an unknown location. Okay. In another complaint related to the DV, prosecutors provided graphic details related to Collins' condition, alleging that she recklessly engaged in conduct which created a grave risk of unaliving to Kahleb. Kahleb's mom also failed to report John Bailey allegedly abusing Collins by torturous means on more than 2 occasions. One instance involved the rope. Wait, I'm kind of confused. Wait, that's her dad. That is her dad. They must have this wrong. John Bailey is her dad. The Collins guy. Okay, wait, I'm confusing myself here. Okay, she's charged with the 2-year-old for not putting the seatbelt on. John Elton Bailey, Kahleb's grandfather, was arrested earlier this month and charged with failing to report his disappearance. Okay. Wow. I've got the court papers right here. I don't want to print them off though. I don't know if I can make them any bigger. I'm sure I can. Wow. Okay. DV in the 1st degree. It's okay. Hold on. I'm trying to get them where I can read them. So, okay. So, but that said, that she had, maybe I'm reading it wrong, you guys. Because his dad's last name is Collins, not Bailey. That's her dad's last name. The DV prosecutors provided graphic detail related to Collins' condition, alleging that she recklessly engaged in conduct which grave death to Kahleb Collins. Police argued that Bailey also failed to report John Bailey allegedly abusing Collins by torturous means on more than 2 occasions, one instance reported involving a rope. So was her dad? No, because they would have charged the dad with a lot more than failing to report his disappearance. So this article has a couple of the names wrong. Because I knew I wasn't reading that wrong. Okay, let me see. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. DV in the first degree on or about July 2024. Okay, the assault charges. Yeah. Yeah, they got it mixed up. But obviously if her dad lived in the home, he knew he knew about it. But it's just very easy to, it is very easy, y'all. Absolutely, Danny. I agree 1,000% on that. Why didn't he, I mean, was there something wrong with Grandpa? What was wrong with Grandpa? I mean, hopefully they find him. Hey, Flies, what's up? It means he didn't report the rope incident. Well, that's what yeah. I mean, I just think that Grandpa lived there. He would have had to have known. He would have had to have known what was going on. I wouldn't think that he wouldn't have known that that she put him in a shed, right? Yeah, they have photo evidence. Absolutely. They've got photo evidence. But Grandpa was just the older person that should have had the responsibility to say that. I mean, why wouldn't he report that, knowing your grandson is in a bag in the storage shed? How sad. It's a sad freaking world. It is a sad, sad world we're living in. But hopefully they can find him and put him beside his sister. So, yes, they had photos allegedly showing some of the abuse through images of the child bloodied and hanging from a rope and him lying on the floor covered in bruises. So maybe she has finally said where he could be. This woman she's freaky looking. She is freaky looking. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, man. Okay, there's another picture of her. That's what they said because of when he wrecked the truck, that's when out of town family members said, "Where's Kahleb? What happened to Kahleb?" Kahleb wasn't in the truck with them. They didn't know where Kahleb was. Well, I mean, they can only for now get Grandpa with not reporting the DV. because they can't prove that he knew what was going on. But if he physically lived with them, you would think that he would know, just like her. She's only 22. She had her older daughter when she was 19, 20 years old. So you're saying that she had other children? Well, I think the doctors do try to see children every year. They try to see adults every year. But I've not heard of her having any children before that. I'm not getting I'm not I don't understand what you're trying to say there, Big White Horse. Because the New Orleans stuff there's no comparison, I don't think, but will you come hang out all you want, H? Oh, are you trying? Oh, so Danny, you're saying that possibly she had more children that just disappeared? But, I mean, her being young, who knows? I'm sure all that'd come out in court. I'm sure that'd come out in court. I want to click on that. Wow. Then we have a Connecticut man who allegedly unalived a mother and her infant son over $400 she owed him for renting a car. He was 23 years old. He was ordered to be held on a $5 million bail. $5 million bail. Hey, hold on a minute. Let me get another cup of coffee, you guys. I'll be right back. Okay, I had to get a cup of coffee. I'm starting to peter out here. I don't understand what you guys. Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Unexpected occurrences and unpredictable. It was more than a year. Harmony was gone more than a year, right? Hmm. Yeah. Sad. It's all sad. All very sad. Wow. All right. Well, I'll talk about that some other time. We'll just stick with Kahleb Collins right now. That is so sad. Wow. I've got another story here too that I wanted to talk about today, but I don't want to keep everybody on here for 3 hours. Harmony was older than that. Yeah. Well, I mean, in Harmony's case, you had an uncle who's seen stuff happening too. Yeah, you're right, Love to Lurk. I remember that. 2 or 3 years missing. Okay. Strings of consecutive coincidence is fate and somebody showing off. Okay. So basically what we know, September 9th, around September 9th was the last time that Kahleb Collins was seen. They believed he was unalived around the end of September, but no one questioned where he was until December 8th, after the automobile crash that took the life of his 2-year-old sister also. So sad world. Sad, sad world. Okay, y'all, I am going to get off here. I'm going to do a live tonight, probably not until, let's see, it's 3, 4, 5, 8:30. It'll be 8:30. I want to do a live where we'll, talk about another case. Well, I've actually got 2 different cases pulled up, but I didn't want to intertwine those with talking about Kahleb. So we are definitely going to keep our eyes open. I will be keeping my my ear to my computer to keep updated on if they find him or not. Yeah, I remember the adoptive parents were not happy that he got custody of Harmony to start with. And they were not happy about the whole situation. But this is the thing. Harmony's mother somehow, I mean, yeah, that's just a sad freaking case altogether. A sad case altogether. But what mother or father sits back and lets the other one do the horrific, torturous things that were done to little Kahleb? Who does that? And can you guess who was probably there and seen everything that happened to Kahleb? His sister. She was only 2. She was only 2. Very sad. All right, because I have OCD, we have 8 minutes. 8 minutes, y'all. And thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me. I thought it was important to update the Kahleb Collins case. I pray that they find him and put him to rest with his sister. How sad. As far as the mother having children previously, they've not said anything like that, so I'm not going to say she did or didn't. I just know with the 2-year-old, she was young when she had both children. To me, 22 is young to have 2 children. And him being a much older man, that is weird. I mean, I've got too many questions about that. How did they meet? How young was she when they met? Et cetera, et cetera. You guys know me. I question freaking everything. So, yeah, it's sad. All right, you guys, I'm going to hop off here. You guys have a great day. Go hang out, do whatever you feel to do. I've got a couple things I need to get busy on and get done here. But 8 o'clock tonight, I'm going to come back on and I want to talk about a really harsh case that I have to do different from this one because I'm going to get a little feisty tonight. Guaranteed that. Also, I want to talk about the Don B and the neighbor issue. I seen White Boy Lockdown Radio and talked to the neighbor again. Yeah, Oakley Carlson too. Yeah, there's too many. Too many. All right, you guys, have a great day. If you want to come back, like I said, 8:30 tonight, 8 or 8:30. If I'm done doing what I need to do by 8, then I'll pop back on at 8 o'clock. And if not, I definitely will be on by 8:30. So, yeah. Well, it's sad anymore. People can have babies at home that are never, their births are not registered. They have no Social Security cards. They have no birth certificates. They don't have anything. So, but thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. It means a lot. And I will catch you guys later. Let me do my peace out. Here, I'll do my peace out. This is my new peace out. Hold on. There you go. There's me piecing you guys out. She's a little cuter than I am, so. All right. So maybe some of you guys will come hang tonight. If you don't get a chance to, we will be talking about this again, I'm sure, along with a couple other cases that I'm trying to update on too. So, All right. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Poppy and H and Flies and we and you mods that popped in here today. I really appreciate it. So peace out, everybody.